Good afternoon. We're ready to get started with our Kentucky Junior Heifer Show. Entering the ring now, we have Class 1. We need Class 2 on deck. Class 2 on deck.
Well, good evening. Certainly a pleasure to be here to sort through the Kentucky side of the Kentucky Beef Expo. Always a pleasure to get to come, to be asked to come to Kentucky and sort through. We start off with a really nice way here in this Angus division. Two very high quality females for as young as they are, but young man's heifer that's going to lead off, boy, just impeccable from the side. So neat and high tying, really elegant in the way that one is built, yet still got plenty to her. Big bone, big footed, high quality one to start off. As we pull in the young man here into, I think another one that you like a lot of things about from a future. Obviously, these things are young and green. Both of them have good projects, big-bodied, easy flesh, and low maintenance. Really good on her feet and legs. Just not quite as tricked out whenever you look at her on the profile. High-quality set of females to start off. Congratulations to both those exhibitors.
Results from Class 1. First place went to Camden Tingle. Second place to Tillman Durosset. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring, we have Class 2 Angus heifers. These are May heifers.
Really, really good class here in this May division, and the top three in this particular class, I think, just kind of sort themselves to the top. And young ladies, that's going to go ahead and lead off what she lacked in terms of wanting to be in here in the show ring to start off with. Boy, she sure makes up with some presence whenever she gets it all put together. That one is absolutely flawless, which is good if you got one that's going to have a little attitude. Absolutely flawless whenever we set that one in motion. Incredibly good and laid back in terms of that one, shoulder and knee presence, body, bone, foot that she's got underneath her. Incredibly high quality one to lead off. And we certainly don't take a slack here. As we drop in that two hole, I think, again, another one that offers you a tremendous amount of look on the profile. I think a female that, for me, it gets just a notch closer in terms of 2 and 3, but what sorted that pair just like the top end. I think this one here in 2, just more relaxed in terms of her spine, more relaxed in terms of the way that she travels hawks to ground. Just a nickel planer and shorter in the way that that one's designed through her front 1/3, but still, I think a female that offers you a lot of good pieces. 2 very, very good ones left it on the top. Standing stopped in park, boy, I dig this one quite a great deal because that one is one good-looking, burly, big bone, big hipped Angus female. Just wish she was just a nickel more relaxed whenever we set her in motion. Female that comes in next, moderate, big-bodied, easy fleshing, just maybe doesn't have that extra style and that extra presence of those heifers up on the top end. Female that comes next here, a really long spine, very agile female, just needs to be a little softer as we study that one. A little more softness, a little more body and power in this one. Female is pretty moderate. Female that just comes a little more uncoordinated when we set her in motion. Same can be said for this last one. I think a female that offers you a nice look. I like her power that she's got, just not as agile.
Results from Class 2. First place went to Kennedy Evans. Second to Lindy Kaiser. Third to Cheyenne Kaiser. Fourth, Nora Nunn. Fifth, Annalise Harden. Sixth, Mason Way. And seventh to Seth Chunglo. Congratulations to all of those exhibitors. Now in the ring we have Class 3. We need Class 4 to be ready to come in next.
I think we've stayed really good here in this Angus show, as one would expect in the state of Kentucky. And we had a trio there in the last set, but the moment the one that's going to lead this class hits the in-gate, I think follows that type and kind of our class winners throughout the day. Hopefully we can stay true to as we move through these breeds. That's a big-bodied, burly, stout, dimensional one, yet still incredibly agile on the go. Has an advantage just in terms of look and presence and freshness here in this lineup. Very high-quality one to lead off. I mean, it gets a little closer in 2 and 3. We had a little hiccup here for the young lady, but she didn't stop showing. And while that one's got it just a tick a chin under, I guess I'm not going to pass judgments like my good friend Blake Blumberg says. I'm not the best-headed one either, but from her shoulders back, that one is really opened up. I think just very honest and green in her condition. I think a female that's just more agile as we study her in the way that she travels through that shoulder and knee, and to me, for a Beef Expo, just fresher in the way that she's built. You like them burly and stout and dimensional. Certainly don't have any problem with this one in here in 3, because that one is absolutely one massive Angus female. For me, just a nickel past where I'd maybe like to deem it to be ideal from a freshness standpoint. A little shorter and more compact. That doesn't help her. Her cause there through her front 1/3, a little straighter and more upright in her front 1/3. Female that comes out next doesn't have quite the power, but man, that one is fresh. That one is good looking. She's being a little bit of a knucklehead as we would expect. We're here at nighttime for our first show for most of these. That one just needs a little more to her here today. Same could be said for the heifer that rounds off the class. We ain't seen a bad heifer yet, and that makes my job fun. That one's attractive, well balanced. If the worst thing you say about one is she just needs a little more time on feed, that ain't a bad thing here in March. But congratulations to all of our exhibitors. Really nice class of Angus females.
Results from Class 3. First place went to Josie Phillips. Second, Haley Johnson. Third, Blaine Smith. Fourth to Brianna Smith. And fifth to Emily Caffey. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Just keep moving really nicely here through this Angus show, and for me, pretty comfortable place to start, kind of the combination female between the next 2 heifers here in this lineup. Here's the big-bodied, burly, stout, big-boned, big-footed one, yet I still think in terms of athleticism and in terms of agility, as closest to ideal here of those, combining that with some extra power and dimension. As from the heifers here in 2 and 3, we got some give and take. I'm not so sure that as we project these heifers on down the road, man, there's a lot of things I like about this young man's man's heifer here in 2. That is one attractive, feminine-headed, good-built Angus female, just not quite there. I mean, fit inside of the heifers on other sides, but in terms of athleticism and agility, freshness, I think that female covers all those bases really well. There's just a little more of her. I think she can make a real run at that heifer that leads off. Female that rounds out this class, no slouch by any stretch. Like I said, we haven't had to do a bad one yet. Big-bodied, burly, and dimensional. Just wish she was a little better in the way that she sets on those rear 2. Another high-quality set of females, though.
Results from Class 4. First place went to Kat Branscombe, second to Levi Womack, and third to McKenna Jackson. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring, we have Class 8. We skipped a few numbers, but this is Class 8 Angus heifers.
Maybe just not the one that comes out here from the moment they've hit the tan bark here that we've had in a few of these other classes, a little more give and take in the way these cattle are built and presented. But to me, again, as we study these, keep the basics simple. The one that's going to go ahead and lead off of this young lady is just the more attractive, well-balanced female. Female that's just a nickel more ladylike in the way that she's built through that hidden chest. Female that balances up very nicely from a silhouette standpoint. There's just not one that gets out here and absolutely floats whenever we study these cattle from the hind leg. I think that extra look and style keeps her there on the top. A little more punch and power here in the one of the young man's that comes out into. That one is opened up in terms of the base of her rib cage. Carries that power up high. I like that about that one. Just the nickel planer in the way that she's designed all the way through, but a high quality female. Going to make a nice brood cow as we project that one on down the road. A little extra look here in the young man's heifer that comes out in third. I like the presence of this one. One of those that's just kind of arrogant and up-headed. I like that That's always fun whenever you get those, and you project this one probably as good built as any. Just needs more time. Gives up a little over 100 pounds, I would say, between those heifers in front. But I think a female that you project her down the road, her skeleton is really good. Just need a little more to her to run with them two big hosses here in this class today. Young lady that rounds off, same thing. One that's really, really long necked, really tall and elevated in the way that one's built. Long spine, which almost works to her detriment, just not quite as soft. It's a little tough to be soft, and it's easier to make them big bodied when you make them shorter and more compact. And I think a female that still just needs a little more look. But again, I love her freshness and her length that she's got.
Results from Class 8, first place went to Danielle Taylor, second to Micah Nunn, third to Luke Markham, fourth to Brenna Perkins. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring we have Class 9. We need all of our first and second place Angus heifers to be in the makeup ring so that we can do our division champion and reserve.
I think we're kind of back to having one that, to me, a class that falls pretty logically in the way that I sort this one. I think, again, a female that in terms of bone and foot size, in terms of structure and build, a really nice combination female here to lead off this respective class, and yet still is the one that has the advantage in terms of look and presence. I said, just for me, a very comfortable place to start. Same can be said, I think, just as easy as we put this heifer here into shoulders back. I really like that one. That one blends from the shoulder into her full rib incredibly nicely. Top, bottom side of that one, skeleton, very symmetrical, just a little shorter, more upright in terms of her blade placement. Female that's just not quite as athletic as we talk about that one in terms of the way that one's hind legs set whenever you get right in behind her, but I think still incredibly good looking, high quality Angus female. Taking nothing away from the heifer that rounds off this class, moderate female, going to be low maintenance, easy doing kind, just here today. Maybe not the presence and the power of those up on top, but a good way to end the Angus show here.
Results from Class 9. First place went to Annalise Harden, second to Stockton Stivers, and third to Seth Chunglo. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have our division, our Angus division. From Class 1, we have Camden Tingle. From Class 2, we have Kennedy Evans. Class 3, Josie Phillips. Class 4, Kat Branscombe. Class 8, Danielle Taylor. And from Class 9, Annalise Harden. While our judge is evaluating this division, I'm going to go ahead and introduce him for tonight. We have Mr. Justin Adcock from Illinois. Justin is a graduate of Lakeland College and the University of Illinois, where he received his bachelor's in animal science and his master's in ruminant nutrition. He was on competitive judging teams while at both schools, as well as coaching the Illinois State 4-H team to 2 national championships. Justin has judged shows on every level in 22 states and Canada. He is currently a district sales manager for Bayer Crop Sciences Channel Seed. He, along with his wife Emily, daughter Tatum, and family, own Adcock Land and Livestock, a seed stock operation in central Illinois where they sell and show Angus and Simmental cattle throughout the U.S. Please join me in welcoming Justin Adcock tonight for judging our Kentucky Heifer Show.
Oh, much appreciated. And we'll keep things rolling. I'm not going to go back through and in a breed this big, where I guess, in my opinion, talked all these cattle there in their respective class. Really, really good lineup of Angus females as we stand out here. And we started off really nice with that calf on the front end, and then finished it in a really nice way on the back end. It makes it a lot of fun from my side of things whenever you get some different things that you can do. For me, it comes down. I think there's the trio of heifers that are incredibly, incredibly nice as we study these cattle. They're not all exactly the same, but the goal for the day, and we've got to have goals, is I kind of have in my mind what I want things to look like as we get done, and as cattle that have something to them, have got some body and some dimension, yet still cattle that are good in terms of their feet and legs, good bodied, yet cattle that obviously this is a show ring, good looking, fresh, and attractive. And like I said, I think there's 3 or 4 of them that you can go out here and you can select. I'll grab the 2 that to me today just excel just a little bit, just in terms of a little extra presence that they've got about them. But let's give all of our exhibitors here in this Angus division a nice round of applause. Awesome way to start off the Kentucky Beef Expo.
Coming in for reserve, we have Haley Johnson from Class 3. Your reserve champion Angus female went to Kennedy Evans from Class 2. Congratulations to both Josie and Kennedy, your champion Angus and your reserve. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 10. This is the beginning of our key breed.
Nice pair of females here to start off our key division, and I think a class to me that sorts pretty easily. I think the effort's going to go ahead and lead off just in terms of mobility and comfort as we walk her around the ring here. I think is where she has the advantage, yet still good looking, big bone, big footed. Young man's painted up heifer here that's going to come out into long spine female that's got a lot of good to her, female that's got some upper hip and some natural power and dimension, just not quite as soft here, not quite as soft in terms of her structure there as well. Nice pair of females to start off our key division though.
Results from Class 10. First place went to Grant Taylor and second to Scotty Rainwater. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring we have Class 11. Class 12 needs to be on deck.
Really good pair here as we move along in this key division. I think a pair that, well, not exactly the same, I think, just in terms of presence, in terms of body and power and dimension, both incredibly high quality, just a little neater, more tricked out version of the same thing here in the young lady's heifer that's going to go ahead and lead off. I think a female that's just a nickel more comfortable in the way that she travels there, hawk to ground, big bodied, good looking, incredibly highly presented one. Same that can be said for this one here in two's got a lot of punch and power, just fighting the young lady here every step of the way and making it a little more challenging for her. But I think one that you like her moderation, you like her bone and foot, maybe just not as extreme in any one particular area, but again, good female there in that two-hole heifer that rounds off this class. Again, not a slouch. I think a female that you like her length, you like her extension that she's got, just ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw here on the top end of this respective drive.
Results from Class 11. First place went to Laura Ann Pettit, second to Emma Hood, and third to Tanner Weinel. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring, we have Class 12. We need our first and second place key heifers in the makeup ring.
I believe these heifers, the way that they come in, and to me comes that way pretty quickly, in my opinion. I think a female that fits the type and kind here on the top end, a female that has that look and that style and that presence with the body, the build, and the natural power that she's got. As you analyze this one, I think a female just has a tremendous amount of quality to her there to start off with. And then a female that comes out here into a lot of presence, really good looking, really well balanced female. Good as we study this one at the ground, probably has just a notch of an advantage in terms of comfortability and the way that she travels off of those pasterns in relation to the one directly in front of her. Just a lot less cow there as we study her. I think again a female that has a lot of good pieces to them. The red heifer that rounds out this respective lineup, long, attractive, good built, feminine female that just needs a little more to her, female that just gets a little off in terms of her balance as we study that one through her pin set.
Results from Class 12. First place went to Andrew Ray, second to Addison McGlone, and third to Drew Diehouse. Congratulations to all those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we're showing for our division. From the first class, we have Grant Taylor. From our second class, Laura Ann Pettit. And from the third class, Andrew Ray.
Just like in the Angus division, I think a very nice lineup here in this key division as well. Not the obviously the numbers, but I think the quality very good, and honestly cattle that fit together very nicely as you project these things and analyze them. They're cattle that have a similar look in terms of appearance. Female that came out of that first class, I think, set a very nice tone for us there. Female that's good looking, a female that's good in terms of her lines, a female that I like her bone and her foot size that she's got under there. Just wanting to fight the halter a little bit today. I wish she was just a little more athletic in the way that she goes hawk to ground, but other than that, very high quality one. Female that came out of class number 2, definitely the class that had a pair of females up on the top end that were very nice, and this one won that respective class. Just a little more tricked out version in that pair of females that were big bodied and burly and dimensional. Man, that one is one cobra neck, neat looking, tight chested female. I think still in terms of who study that one from the side, you like her presence and her style that she's got. Females that comes out of class number 3, I think again another one with a lot of good pieces to her, burly and stout and dimensional, coming back out here and showing herself off a little bit. Won that class very easily as we studied that class. I think a female that, if we're going to get a little critical of her, just a little more opened up in the way that she's built through that look in terms of her blade, but a high quality set of key females here. We'll grab you a champion in reserve. Let's give the exhibitors in this division a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to Laura Ann Pettit from Class 11. Coming in the ring for reserve, we have Emma Hood.
As we bring that respective second back in, I think she immediately puts herself in contention with these other three. And as I said, I thought there was a pretty easy place to go. And then I think you could do a few different things. There's, good Lord's never made a perfect one yet, but I think there's cattle that have some give and take. But to me, that class was very, very good. A little more punch, a little more power. They're going to keep those two heifers together, and the one that was second in that class will be reserved. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations to your reserve key going to Emma Hood after that same class. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 13, Gelbvieh. This is the beginning of our Gelbvieh breed.
Very good, very high quality single entry here. Definitely makes my life easy whenever we can start off. Nobody can argue with me as we study this one. And I think, again, we start off in a very good place with this young one. Obviously green, but I think a future is bright for her. Build, her lines, all very, very high quality female. To start off that Gelbvieh show. Congratulations to her. Again, I think we've got quality in both of these heifers, but the moment this one hits the end gate, I think for me, she's the very comfortable place to start here in this lineup. A female that is just got that brood cow look to her, big body and burly, opened up, and the way that one's built through the base of her rib cage. Yeah, it's still good in terms of her design and lines, really good since we set that one in motion. Female that comes out here in two. You love her length, a lot of performance here in this one. That's going to be a good doing. Easy cow to raise and put back into production. Just not quite that style and presence of our class winner, but a good pair of females.
Results from Class 14. First place went to Tillman Dorosset, second to Davy Thompson. Now in the ring, we have Class 15 of our Gelbvieh division.
Another class we're going to leave as they stand. I think, again, a class that to me falls together very logically as we study these cattle, not only in terms of structure and build, but in terms of presence. Female that leads off combines all those things in a very, very high quality package there. Red heifer here that comes out into burly and stout and dimensional. Man, you have a pasture full of cows that look like you're going to stay in the cattle business because that one is long spined. Obviously, you'd expect her to do a good job whenever we put her in production. Just not quite as neat and tidy in the way that she's built through that front 1/3, but in terms of everything that matters in the brood cow, man, that one is really, really nice. Female that comes out here in 3, I love her. Another one of those that I love her length. I love her freshness that she's got here today. Just wish there was a little more of her to compete with those 2 burly ones up on top.
Results from Class 15. First place went to Clara Bell Bishop, second to Madeline Fryman, and third to Davy Thompson. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 15A, a single entry. Then we will select our division champions of the Gelbvieh breed.
Just a single entry here to round out the Gelbvieh show. And again, I think another one of those that just in terms of brood cow production, man, not a very, very high quality Gelbvieh female that's going to do her job, I would expect, in terms of having some body, in terms of some power, inject some growth into her offspring, yet still good looking. High quality single entry there for that young lady.
Congratulations to Madeline Fryman for having her first place in that class. Now coming in the ring, we're going to be selecting our division champions of the Gelbvieh breed. Coming in from Class 13, we have Lane McCall. From Class 14, Tillman Dorosset. Class 15, Clara Bell Bishop. And Class 15A, Madeline Fryman.
Again, like the Key Show, not as many numbers here in the Gelbvieh division, but again, I'd certainly rather look into a few in the good side than just send quantity over all day long. And we started off really nice. This is a really nice lineup from end to end. I think a red heifer that's got a very, very bright future to her when you project that one on down the road. I think just does everything incredibly nicely. Female that maybe today that's going just a little far to use one that young, but I think in terms of quality, boy, she runs right here with these big ones. To me, it comes down to the heifers out of classes 2 and 3. Female here in class number 2, man, I won that class pretty easy just in terms of having some look and some presence. Female that I love her body and her build and design. Maybe not as burly as another one, but man, that one is long spine. That one is soft in terms of her skeleton. Female out of class number 3, again, another one of those that I thought won her class pretty nicely. That's a high quality Gelbvieh female. I can't say that I am a breeder of the Gelbvieh cattle, but boy, you get a pasture full of animals that look like that. I don't care what the breed registrations say. That one is very, very good. That one is relaxed in her spine, big body, dimensional, yet still, I think, one that handles all that incredibly, incredibly nicely. And a female that came out of our last class, again, just burly and stout and dimensional. You like that about that one. Not the look of a couple of these others out here, but I think, again, we've got a really, really good lineup. I probably didn't do the best job of not showing my cards. I think there's one out here that is a very, very high-quality female, and that's that one out of class number 3. She's going to be your champion.
Congratulations to Clara Bell Bishop. Out of Class 15, we need Madeline Fryman, second place, to come in for reserve.
And there's a respective second, as I said there in class, boy, another one of those that you sure should have could build an entire cow herd around, because a female that's just got a lot of performance, a lot of power. What she doesn't have in terms of the show ring ability from the guy there on the front end looked a little better there in class, I think, but she's still got a lot of quality to her. But man, the extra look and the extra presence of the young man out of class number 2, I think follows that champion very nicely. He'll be your reserve.
Congratulations to your reserve Gelbvieh heifer going to Tillman DeRosset. Now coming in the ring, we will have Class 16. These are mains, and this class serves as your main division. Just a reminder for all of our exhibitors, if you are a breed champion or reserve, we would love for you to go and visit with Lindy and her crew and get your backdrop pictures done. Once again, get those backdrop pictures for all of our breed champions and reserves.
Just 2 main heifers, so we'll go ahead and we'll talk these before we slap a champion in reserve. I think both females have a lot of good pieces to them. Female that's up here in the front end, man, that one is burly, that one is stout. Dimensional, big bone, big footed. You love her length of spine. I think a female that's still incredibly athletic as we study that one and put her in motion around the ring. Just a lot of really good pieces to her. Really a little more tricked out version here, and comes out of the second spot here, and that one is very feminine, very relaxed in the way that she's designed up there through that head and neck. Bounces up incredibly nicely. A female that's just gorgeous as a picture whenever we study her on the profile. Not just quite as agile as we study her on the go, as you would expect, for that extra presence, the extra foot, and the extra bone, and the extra power that goes with the extra structural integrity. And for this circle here up front is going to be your champion. The heifer in the back is going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations to your first place and champion main heifer going to Del Hood, and your second place and reserve main heifer going to Haley Cooper. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 17. This is a single entry beginning our maintainer division.
Real good way to start this maintainer division. Soft-legged, good-looking, attractive, big-bodied, burly one. Definitely could have stood a lot more competition out here. Congratulations to that exhibitor on a very high-quality single entry.
Congratulations to Grant Taylor with his single entry in Class 17. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 18. For all our folks watching from the stands, if you have anybody who would like to see the show from at home, our webcaster is Ringside Live, and you can view the live stream at ringside.co. So make sure to check out the live stream for all of your family and friends at home.
Certainly a contrasting pair of females here in this maintainer class. Females that about polar opposite in terms of their build and what you like. The female, to me, I guess that's going to go ahead and lead off. Just you like her lateration, you like her look in terms of her structure and build is where she has an advantage. Wish there was just a little more to her. Pretty moderate for me, but I think a female that, again, her structure in terms of her moderation, in terms of her body, I think are all very good things. You want a little more grow, a little more performance, and just a notch more upper hip than the Blue Roan can surface. But for me, man, that one, a lot of daylight there underneath her female. That's going to be a little taller, be a little harder to manage from that standpoint. I think a female that at the end of the day just wish she was softer in the way that she travels off of those rear two. Good pair of females, even though they're vastly different.
Results from Class 18. First place went to Hunter Davidson and second to Todd Weinel. Now entering the ring, we have a single entry, Class 19. At the conclusion of this single entry, we will be selecting our division champions for our maintainer breed.
Single entry, but a single entry. Another one of those single entries with a lot of quality to her. Another one of those females that's just burly and stout and dense all the way through, and yet still, I think, is more than ladylike enough whenever we study her. High quality there for that single entry female. We can visit more as we bring these class winners back out.
Congratulations to Kylie Klein with our single entry in Class 19. Now entering the ring for our division, from Class 17, we have Grant Taylor. From Class 18, first place went to Hunter Davidson, and your Class 19 winner, Kylie Klein.
We get our respective class winners back out here in this maintainer division. Started off really nicely with a hammer of a single entry female, the one that is good looking, one that is dense, one that is burly, and yet still does all that in a very ladylike, attractive, athletic package. Female that came out of class number 2 said they're in class. A pair of females very different. This again, female that got to the top here was the one that was just more comfortable on the go, like her body type, just a notch better, really good looking. As I said, they're in class. I wish there was just a little more to her. Female that came out of class number 3, boy, sure brings some of that extra punch and that extra power. One of those that's really bold and opened up all the way through, both not just up high, but carries that width down low. You like her extra presence, big bone, big footed type of a female. Not quite as neat and ladylike as another one to go with that look. And so I think that's what sorts this respective class. Our Baldy up here on the front end is going to be your champion, coming back for class number 3 to be reserved. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Congratulations to your champion maintainer heifer going to Grant Taylor, and your reserve went to Kylie Klein. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring, we have Class 20. This is our first class of Red Angus heifers.
I'm going to go ahead and leave these heifers as they stand. In my opinion, just a little more punch and power and a little more comfort as we study these cattle at the ground. And the young man's heifer that's going to lead off, that one is stout and she's dimensional. Maybe not quite as neat and tidy through that front 1/3 as our class winner, but I think she handles her hind leg just as good and is more relaxed in the way that she travels off of that shoulder than knee. Really good looking one here that comes out into feminine and attractive, well balanced. A female, you really like that about her. I just wish she was more comfortable as we study this. Take this one on down to the ground and just explode her apart ever so slightly as we get underneath her. But again, a female that has a tremendous amount of presence and style.
Results from Class 20. First place went to Tillman DeRosset, and second place to Cheyenne Kaiser. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring we have Class 21. This is a single entry.
Another very high quality single entry female here. You love that one from a length in terms of her build and design. Not only there up front, but in terms of her length and body. Instead, yet still, I think, as we study this one at the ground, good in terms of her feet and legs. Congratulations to her on a high quality single entry.
Congratulations to Audrey Carter with her first place in that single entry class. Coming in the ring, we have Class 22.
A little give and take here in this respective class, I think, but again, just trying to keep things basic. The young lady's heifer is going to go ahead and lead off just in terms of some extra flexibility of structure. I think a female that's just more comfortable in the way that she travels off of those rear two. Big bone, big footed. Love her length of front end. I love her length of spine that she's got. I think one of those red-heading females that everything just fits together very nicely. A little more punch and a little more power here in the young man's that comes out in two. And stopped and parked, I think you can swap this pair. I just wish she would go with a little more authority and comfort there off of both ends because, man, I love that one's body type. Just a nickel crest here in the way that she's built through that front 1/3. And then you get the feminine, refined one here, a little more moderate in terms of her kind, good looking, well balanced type of a female. Again, I just wish there was a little more to her. Female, it's a little more rigid in the way that she travels. Real good pair here on the top end of this respective class, but even with that, man, a tremendous amount of presence in this one. From the moment that one hits the end gate, just carries herself incredibly nicely, good looking, highly presented, big bodied, big bone, big footed. Her Red Angus female's got a lot of power and a lot of natural dimension to her. I think a female that's incredibly high quality. Same can be said here for the heifer that comes out into just maybe not as extreme in any one particular area, but man, that's a good Red Angus female there as well in terms of having that extra softness, just not as much punch and natural power, but a lot of natural cow power as you study that one in terms of a low maintenance, easy doing, good structured Red Angus female. Female that rounds out this particular class, long fronted, long spine female, a little rounder in the way that muscle is laid on her, and a female that again has a lot of good pieces to her. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Really nice Red Angus show here, and we started off with a good way with the young man's heifer here on the front end. I think a female that really right feature to her as you study that one in terms of being one that is flexible, ladylike, good in terms of her balance and build. I think she does a lot of things incredibly nicely in a very attractive, well represented package. Heifer that comes out of class number 2, I think a female that has got some body and some natural dimension to her. Maybe not as tricked out as a couple other heifers out here, I think, but a female that just what you see is what you get, very fault-free, good in terms of her fundamental and basics. I wish you could just maybe ever so slightly jack that tail head up in her. Female that comes out of the 3rd class, again, I think one that's got a lot of good pieces to her. A female that's another one of those that's got a little more to her, a little more substance. A female that's big bone, big footed, and yet still offers you a high quality look as we study this one off to the side. And then we get to that last class, I said during class, I think we had a pair of really good ones. One that's just got a little more and a few more of those ESTs. That's an incredibly high quality Red Angus female. To me, that's the place you got to go. There's your champion Red Angus female out of class number 4. As we bring that respective second back in, I said there in class, man, I like this one a great deal. She's maybe just not as extreme in any one particular area, but I think she follows that type and kind very nicely. I think those heifers looked very nice in class. They might as well stay together in this champion lineup. She'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Getting caught back up on our placings, your results from class 23, first place went to Michaela Massey, second to Madeline Ethington, and third to Audrey Carter. Your champion Red Angus female went to Michaela Jo Massey, and your reserve went to Madeline Ethington. Congratulations to all of our Red Angus exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have class 24, the first class of our Shorthorn division.
We start off with the Shorthorn division with a very good, high-quality single entry female that I think is going to set a nice tone in terms of some look, in terms of some presence, in terms of structure and building and design. Congratulations to her.
Attention to all of our exhibitors. We need Class 25 Shorthorns to be entering the ring. Class 25 Shorthorns.
I believe that pair as they came in here in this lineup. I think, again, another one of those classes that just a little more to this one hip here on the top end. I think just as a heifer that's also more flexible and better built in terms of her overall design, both top and bottom side of her skeleton. Love the look, the femininity of the heifer there in two. Just wish there was a nickel more to her. Wish she was a little better as we studied that one coming out of her hip. But two very nice females here to continue on in the Shorthorn division. Just a single entry here. I think one that whenever she stopped in Park, boy, incredibly elegant, well presented, big bodied, burly, big bone type of a Shorthorn female. I love the natural power and expression that this one's got. Just a really extremely high quality there, single entry.
Congratulations to Lane McCall with your first place in Class 26. Now coming in the ring, we're going to be selecting for our Shorthorn division females.
Another smaller show here in our Shorthorn division, but I think, again, quality from end to end. The heifer that comes out of our first class, one of those that just maybe not a lot of frills and a lot of the extras, but I think just incredibly solid female. Female good in terms of her structure and build and design. Love the way that that one is just gets out and she travels. That's my favorite view of that female, is that she gets out and motors around the ring. Female out of that second class, I think a female that you like some of that extra punch and that extra power that she had there in class. I think still is one that stays in contention out here. You love her length of body, your length of spine, and think a female that again balances up incredibly nicely. And then a female that comes out of class number 3, big burly stout dimensional one that's still good looking. Obviously got an advantage in terms of hair coat, but I think in addition to that, just a tremendous amount of presence. We'll go ahead and grab that one to be your champion, and then we're going to go back with the heifer out of class number 1 to be reserved. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Results from your Shorthorn division. Your overall champion Shorthorn went to Lane McCall. Your reserve went to Davy Thompson. Now in the ring we have class 27.
This is a single entry here in our plus division, and one that's absolutely gorgeous from a look and build and design standpoint. A female just reads with a tremendous amount of quality. Whenever you get off to the side of this one, congratulations to her. Another one of those classes. We're going to leave this class as they come in. Just a little extra presence. The female that's going to black heifer that's going to go ahead and lead off. And they could again another one of those that you love her body type, you love her balance and her symmetry that she's got. Has an advantage in terms of that and her structure and build. Female that comes second here, moderate burly one that's got some extra shape and expression up high. Young lady does an awesome job with this one. I just wish there was maybe just a little more calf there here in this respective lineup.
Out of class 28, your first place went to Case Redmond, and your second place went to Sawyer Thompson. Now we're selecting our division Shorthorn Plus.
Nice pair of class winners that we've got standing out here and going to bring in that respective second there as well. We started off, I think, with a really nice place here in that first class. Ultra attractive, well-balanced one, incredibly well put together. Just absolutely gorgeous from a silhouette standpoint when we're stopped and parked. Wish she just went with a nickel more comfort as we related there to the female that comes in behind her. Man, that one is absolutely deadly stopped and parked. Female that came out of that second class, Cowie female that is good in terms of her feet and legs, has an advantage there in terms of picking them up, putting them back down in that same hole, and yet still I think maybe not quite as extreme in the way that she's built, but that certainly isn't a plain one by any stretch. I like that extra softness and comfort. She's going to be your champion out of class number 2. Red and white one up front will be reserved. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Good job, buddy.
Congratulations to Case Redmond with your champion Shorthorn Plus. Your reserve went to Lindy Kaiser. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 29. This is the beginning of our Simmental division.
Good pair of females here to start off our Simmental division, but even with that, so just more natural dimension, more natural cow power, big bone, big footed, burly one, yet that still handles herself incredibly nicely whenever we set that one in motion. Very high quality one to start off. Female that comes second in this respective class, got a lot of look and a lot of presence and style. Young man's got a very high quality project, just maybe not quite as extreme in any one area as that class winner, but a pair of females really good to start off that Simmental division.
Results from Class 29. First place went to Josie Phillips. Second to Nash Wunderlich. In the ring now we have Class 30.
We're going to leave this class as they came in. A little more moderate one here in the red baldy to lead off, but I think one that certainly has a tremendous amount of look and style and presence and combines that with just being the most athletic and sound structured one whenever we set this trio in motion. I think a female that's got a lot of quality, even though she's probably just a nickel moderate for myself. Female that comes here in two, I think a pair of females in 2 and 3 that are very, very close. I think females that have a lot of good, useful pieces to them. Simmentals that have some stoutness and some upper hip and power. Just a little more comfort in a female that comes out in 2. Yeah, and I think another nice pair of females and some give and take in this pair. But again, in my opinion, whenever we sort these cattle, Hip Hawk and Pastern is where the young ladies Heifer up in front has an advantage, just more comfortable all the way. I think still one that balances up a little neater as we study her. Female here in two, a little neater in the way that she's built through that chest floor, not pushing that, really feminine, really agile as we study her there. But I think it's the same time one that just gets a little more piecey as we study her both standing and on the go.
Getting caught back up on results. Class 30, your first place went to Grayson Ruber, second to Avery Oliver, third to Parker Wright. From Class 31, your first place went to Brooklyn Green, and your second place to Caroline Maines. Now in the ring, we have Class 32. At the conclusion of this class, we will be selecting our division champions.
some give and take here in this respective class, and spend a little more time on it. And to be perfectly frank, there's not one that, just as whenever we study them at the ground, that necessarily here on the top end that I think is better in any one particular area or the other. So I'm just going to tell you, I guess, what I see. So the black and white one here up on the front, that one is burly, that one is dimensional. Obviously, all those things that you can see from any portion of the ring here, she's got an advantage in terms of heart, in terms of forerib, in terms of depth of flank here at this stage. I think a female that you love, her bone and her foot size that she's got underneath her there. In an ideal world, would she be maybe just a little neater through that throat latch? Probably. I think where my biggest concern in here, and we re-walked them, because, boy, that one's angles whenever they're stopped and parked get read really, really good, but man, she's just wanting to snap her pasterns, and I know these chips can sometimes be a little more unforgiving on these cattle, but I think that one, just in terms of some extra punch, in terms of some extra power, is why she gets to the top, more relaxed in the way that she's built through that shoulder and knee. Female that comes out of here in the second hole, female, I love the length of spine of this one. Female that's long-bodied, long-fronted, feminine, elegant, fresher in condition, and not one that comes up there on the top end. I think a female that just, you love that extra length that she's got. She fills her track. I don't know that I necessarily love the way that she does it there as well. Wants to roll a little bit out of that lower portion of that one shoulder. Wants to do the same on the rear too. That's getting awfully critical of a pair of an extremely high quality ones. And young man's got a really, really nice one here. And third is no, I know it's no solace, but as good as any third place heifer that we've seen throughout the day, just in terms of look, in terms of presence. The one that's really flat shouldered, flat sided. I like all that about her. Just not as woofy and burly as those ones up on the top.
Results from Class 32. First place went to Ashlyn Pop. Second to Danielle Taylor. Third to Brody Applegate. Now we're selecting our division for our Simmental heifers. The first heifer in here is Mackenzie Emerson. She was a single entry. From Class 29, we have Josie Phillips. Class 30, Grayson Ruber. Class 31, Brooklyn Green. And Class 32, Ashlyn Pop.
We get out here in the Simmental division, and I think we've got a lot of quality, again, as you'd expect whenever we come to Kentucky. The Simmentals, Angus, and all those are going to be very, very good, and I think we do that, and we start off, again, I think, very nicely with a high-quality one there out of that first class in terms of some presence, in terms of some smoothness, good in terms of her structure and build and design. Female out of class number 2. Man, that one, and always good whenever you say this, my favorite view of this one is she's prancing around the ring. One of those that just picks him up, puts him back down in that same hole. Is she burly and just 12 o'clock right now? No, and I guess to me, what's our end goal? We have that conversation at our own place, and I know everybody has different goals and different criteria, but I think that's one that's built for the long haul. I think that one is incredibly, incredibly good. Red Baldy that comes out of that next class, a little more moderate in terms of her kind, but got to the top of that class just in terms of presence. Another one of those that got there in terms of structure and build. I wish there was just a little more calf there. Female out of the next class, one that was long-bodied, long-spined, got some upper hip again, had an advantage in terms of structure and build. In that last class, I think a pair of females up on the top end of that respective class that you project them on down the road, very, very nice. Obviously, they're going to have a little more to them at this stage. They have an advantage in terms of older men. This one is chock full of power and dimension. You get in behind this one, she is absolutely burly and dimensional. Big-backed female that carries that all the way down to the ground, not one of those little-footed ones. I think a female that reads with a tremendous, tremendous amount of quality there. But for me, I guess as we study these cattle, as I said throughout the day, if we're going to make a mistake and you get mad at me, I'm going to pick the one that this sound is structured, and that's the way that I sleep with best at night. Heifer out of class number 2 is going to be your champion.
Congratulations to your champion. Simmental Heifer going to Josie Phillips.
We bring that respective second in. The young man had a very nice one, a female that offered you some look and some style. Wasn't quite as flexible and agile as that one. I said there in class, that last class was very, very good. Some subtle differences between those, and that big burly black and white one reads with a tremendous amount of quality. She's going to be your reserve champion.
Congratulations to your champion, Simmental female, going to Josie Phillips out of class 29, and your reserve champion, Simmental, went to Ashlyn Pop out of class 32. Now coming in the ring, we have class 33, the beginning of our percent Simmental show.
I'll leave this pair as they come in, and again, I know I sound like a broken record, and I guess that's not something I apologize for. And here on the top end, I think it's an advantage in terms of build and design is what sorts this particular pair. Heifer up here on front, just a little more relaxed. I like her body type, maybe not quite as neat built as you study her there on the top side of her blade, but I think a female that just in terms of the bottom side of her skeleton has the advantage. Really good looking, long spine, well balanced female her that comes out in two. Female that just needs to be softer, more athletic as we set that one in motion.
Results from class 33. First place went to Nash Wunderlich. Second place went to Owen Oliver. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have class 34 of our percent Simmental females. Since this is a larger class, I wanted to go ahead and say thank you to all of our sponsors here at the Kentucky Beef Expo. The Kentucky Department of Agriculture, Kentucky Farm Bureau, Blandford Mills, Champion Show Supply, the Bluegrass Marketing Group, Kentucky Beef Council and Kentucky Cattlemen's Association, Hinton Mills, Farm Credit, Washington County Livestock, Paris Stockyards, and Wright Implement. Big thank you to all of our sponsors here at the Kentucky Beef Expo.
Bit a little bigger class here, but I think there's one that comes to the top of this respective drive pretty quickly. I think a female that, man, just absolutely elegant and gorgeous as we study this one in terms of her look and her design and presence from the side. You study this one on the go, absolute hammer as we set this one in motion around the ring. One of those females that, again, as we talked a little earlier, it's kind of nice whenever these high quality show heifers just have a hint of arrogance to them and more prance around the ring than anything. That one certainly does that. Very, very high quality one that are in that respective class. I think you could do a few different things as we study this, the rest of this on down the line. There's maybe not just one that follows her perfect. Stopped and parked this Blaze heifer, I think, just in terms of look, in terms of balance and design, femininity, levelness of top line, symmetry of the lower portion of that one. Skeleton falls in there. Not quite as much show cow, but I think a female that just in terms of that extra look goes into that 2-hole. Red heifer here that comes out next. Everyone that's not is dressed up and tricked out in any one particular area, obviously given the fighting a little bit as we study these ones, but I think a female that just no frills, very basic, good in terms of the fundamentals. Just wish there was a little more there. Female that comes in next got a little more punch and power in both of these heifers that round off the class. I think a pair of females, though, that just get a little more uncoordinated in the way that they go, not quite as good in terms of their overall build.
Results from Class 34. First place went to Haley Polly. Second to Grayson Ruber. Third to Riley Martin. Fourth to Amelia Gripshover. And fifth to Avery Oliver. Congratulations to all those exhibitors. Now entering the ring we have Class 35. This is our last class of our percent Simmental breed.
Nice class, and again, I think we've got a hammer up here on the top end of this respective class in terms of a female that absolutely can get out the ring and motor, burly and stout and dimensional, yet still attractive, well presented, as it reads with a tremendous amount of quality to her. Black and white heifer here that comes out into just a notch more punch and a notch more power here in the bottom end of this respective class. A little more upright in the way that she's built through that shoulder and knee, but standing, stopped, and parked, man, I like a lot of things about that one. Really feminine and attractive one here that comes out in the 3-hole. Attractive, well-balanced, smooth and neat in terms of the way that that one's built. Just wish that there was a little more to her. I wish she was a little more athletic in the way that she's built through that hock. percentage show, very, very high quality as we get out here in our respective lineup. Heifer that came out of class number 1 reads with a lot of good pieces to her there. I think a female that's attractive. She's well balanced. I love the natural center that she's got. I think a female that's just not quite as burly and extreme in any one particular area as the females that come in behind her, but certainly not bad cattle by any stretch of the imagination. To me, it comes down in the heifers that come out of class number 2 and 3, and they're not exactly the same. I think a female that comes out of class number 2, boy, that one is scorpion looking. Female that picks them up, puts them down right back in that same hole. Absolutely exquisite from the side. Doesn't have as much power and natural dimension, and nor would you expect her to have just as much burliness to her right here at this stage of the game. But man, that one certainly, to me, you read her skeleton all the way through, project that one on down the road. Young lady's got an incredibly high quality one. Be interesting to see this pair as you project them out into next August. And the female that came out of that third class has got just a nickel more punch and power. Those females incredibly good as we study them at the ground with some of that punch and power. This one's got just a nickel more shoulder than the heifer directly in front of her. So you get some give and take in that pair, both incredibly high quality. To me, as I said throughout the day, we're going to kind of keep things moving in the same facet, and we've tried to get cattle that have some of that extra structure and build with just a nickel more punch and power today. And the young man out of class number 3 is going to be your champion. Come back with class number 2 for reserve. Really good percent Simmental show. Let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause.
Catching up on results, your first place in class 35 went to Wyatt Phillips. He was also your champion percent Simmental heifer. Second place in class 35 was Marley Granis. Third went to Anna McCord. Your reserve percentage Simmental female went to Haley Polly out of class 34. Now coming in the ring, we have a single entry. We're skipping the single. We're going straight into class 37, the beginning of our Hereford breed.
I was joking with Brent out here. Man, we got 4 young people in the Hereford division that have got their falls out here, and that's the whole reason I'm hobbling around the ring today is because I got blasted by one of ours this morning. So we're in no way or shape or form ready to go to town. So I commend the breeders of these cattle and the exhibitors that have got them here. And this is a really nice set of young Hereford females, and they certainly aren't some out of age, off the wall looking things here. They're cattle that are youthful and in line. There's some give and take in this initial pair. The female that comes up front, obviously just a notch more punch, a notch more power, a little bigger legged, a little bigger footed type of a female. Standing stopped in park, man, that one is really, really high quality. It just balances herself up incredibly nicely, holds that top line more ideal in my opinion. I really like this heifer here in 2. Not as many frills, not as extreme in any one area, but man, that one is built for the long haul. Certainly is no shame not having your fall born ready to go and be 12 o'clock in March, whenever I'm assuming she's probably not even been off the cow that terribly long. That one is good looking, good built, just not quite as much bone and foot as that one up on top, but I think a female that reads to me with an extreme amount of quality there as well. Female here that comes off in 3, really good looking one, balances up very nicely. Wish she was just a nickel better. We study that one down at the ground. The female that rounds off this class, long spined, long pastern type of a female that I just wish there was more to her, a little more look to get her up with those up on top.
Results from Class 37. First place went to Harper Ray. Second to Emily Tabor. Third went to Sadie Jo Brown. And fourth to Levi Wolf. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 38. We need Class 39 to be on deck.
Really, really nice class here as we study these Herefords, and one that's a pretty unique looking Hereford female here up on the top end of this class for this young man. And you start from these cattle from the ground up. That is a big-footed, big-bone, burly, stout, dimensional, cool-looking Hereford female. Congratulations to him. Extremely high-quality one. And to me, we get some give and take in this pair of in this pair of females that come in 2 and 3, and they're certainly not built this exact same by any stretch. I just like the structure and build and design of the young lady's heifer here that comes out in 2. She's kept her head up. She's done a good job, and that one can get out. She can motor. She's long neck. She's smooth. Not quite as much punch and power as the heifers on either side of her, but I think a female that's got a lot of good pieces. You want a little more moderation, a little more punch and power. Here we go, a female that's got a lot of good pieces there. I just wish we could relax her as we study this one on down at the ground. The young lady's heifer that rounds off the class, long body, long spined, high performing type of a female, just not as soft and as much look as those up on top.
Results from Class 38. First place went to Luke Keith. Second to Madeline Granis. Third to Bo Todd. And fourth to Brenna Perkins. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring, we have Class 39.
This is a really good class of Hereford females from end to end, and just a few subtle. See, that's how I got myself in a bad way this morning, is I didn't save that near as nice as she did. But a nice set of Hereford females from end to end here, in very different types of cattle throughout. And I think, man, this one, they're going to go ahead and lead off this particular class. I think it's kind of one of those where we've said throughout the day, if it hits you hard whenever they first walk in the ring, you should probably just stick with that. This one is a unique Hereford creature. She has got a lot of extreme pieces, cool looking. Is all those pieces put together yet here at this stage? No, but man, you project this one on down the road. That is a big-legged, big-footed, athletic, cool-necked Hereford female. I think a female that does a lot of things very, very nicely. If you want to say this one in second, just a little more conventional, a little more, and I don't even mean to use that term in a bad way, a female that's just a little safer. I think a female that just blends a little neater neck, shoulder back into her full rib, really attractive in the set to that one's hind leg. Just not a big hole in her, maybe just not those extreme pieces is that one that comes out on top, but a pair up on top that off a lot of good pieces. Same can be said for this next one that comes out. Long body and a female that's good in terms of her build, female that sounds structured, like that about her. I like the natural rib shape that she possesses, just not quite as burly here at this stage as the heifers on either side of her, but man, that one's structure and build, I think, again, another one of those built for a long haul. Female here that comes out next, really, really cool looking when they're stopped and parked. I liked a lot of things about that one. Got that nice dark hair color. She's a female that's good haired, big-legged, big-footed, just not quite as agile as we start to get down here in this respective class. Female that comes out next, a little neater and tidier in the way that she's built through that throat latch, and the female that comes directly in front of her. And to be perfectly frank, when they're stopped and parked, I move this one up on probably to about the three hole or so, but whenever we set this one in motion, man, she just really doesn't want to get out and travel with that athleticism as those up on the top end. Female that comes out here next, big, high-performing Hereford female, love her length of spine, just not the look and the style. Same can be said here for the rounds off the class. A little more moderate in terms of her kind. Female that maybe just doesn't have that extra presence of the heifers up on top.
Results from Class 39. First place went to Levi Womack. Second to Hallie Hughes. Third to Ellen Todd. Fourth to Hannah Keith. Fifth, Will Beckley. Sixth to Emily Tabor. And seventh went to Sadie Jo Brown. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring we have Class 40.
Another really good class of Hereford females here from end to end has been a lot of fun to sort. And because not only did we have quantity, but we've got a lot of quality. And the ones up here on the top end of this respective class, very good. I think this pair of females sorted themselves to the top just because here's the two burly, stout, dimensional, neat-looking ones. They're not exactly the same. The heifer that's going to go ahead and lead off, just a little neater, ties a little higher and neater in the top side of her blade, a little fresher in the way that she's built through that crest. Man, her silhouette absolutely gorgeous as you get off to the side of this one. One here in two, a little more moderate type and kind, but I think a female, again, you want to talk about some punch and some power whenever you get in behind this one. Absolutely loaded with three-dimensional shape, and to handle that all so incredibly nicely. It's a shame that one of those had to go one and one, or one of them had to go two and get beat by the other one, because those heifers have a lot of good pieces to them. Really like the look and the build of this heifer that comes out in three. Absolutely just grabs your attention every time that we get this one parked on the profile. Young lady does an awesome job with her. Is she the stoutest one in here? Obviously not, but I think one that, as we study feet and legs, I think she's the one that in this top trio just runs out of a little bit of gas, but in terms of look, in terms of structure, needs to stay up in that three hole. A little more stoutness, a little more power. I like that about the young man's heifer here, not wanting to cooperate quite as well. She too gets a little off right there behind her blade, a little off in terms of her loin. Doesn't quite handle herself quite as neat here today, but you get some more time in the ring. That one's piece is incredibly nice in terms of being burly and stout and dimensional. Really good looking one here that comes out next. Smooth, angular, attractive, well balanced. Just needs to be a little more stable in the way that she travels off of that hock. Female that comes out next, same type and kind. I think a female that's really good looking, female that balances up nice. Still good in terms of her rib shape. Just another one of those that needs to be a little more comfortable. Red heifer here that comes out next. Really like the length and performance that she's got. Needs to be just a notch softer to run with those up on top. But man, big body, long, high performing female. Pair of heifers here that round off the class. Good heifers, make nice brood cows for these young people here in this respective class. Just don't have that extra look and that extra build. Real good pair here to end on. I think a pair of females that body type and kind very similar. Big body, burly, dimensional ones. Good brood cows whenever we study these. And again, it comes down to just with one up on top, a little more comfortable in the way that she travels there off of both ends, specifically in the way that she travels off of that hip hock and pastern here today. Young man's heifer that comes out into, as I said, burly, stout, dimensional, like all those things about. I think a female that has a lot of good pieces to him. Just wish she could be a little softer structured.
Getting caught back up on our placings here in our Hereford division. First place went to Quentin Ray in Class 40. Class 40, first place went to Quentin Ray. Second place to Marley Granis. Third to Harley Watson. Fourth to Rylan Hines. Fifth place to Will Beckley. Sixth to Brian Taylor. Seventh to Addison Sanford. 8th went to Navy Woosley, and 9th to Benton White. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Your results from Class 41. First place went to Hallie Hughes, and second place went to William Sexton. Now in the ring, we have our last class of Herefords. This is Class 42.
A lot of Herefords, and yet still the quality very, very good. It's been, I'd say, as good from end to end as any breed that we've had throughout the day. Just in terms of not only quantity, as I said, we got a lot of quality that came back out here. Heifer out of that first class, boy, that, as I said there in class, that's a pretty unique Hereford female. A female that, like, you love that one's bone and foot and look and build and design. Balances up so incredibly nicely whenever you get to the side of that one, and yet still handles it all in an extremely pleasing package. Female out of class number 2, a little different than a couple of the other ones out here, a little smoother, a little neater in terms of her building. Oh, well, that's how. So sorry about that. So we've got. Well, now I tied my hands a little bit, but as far as what we're going to do, but the young man up in here front is going to be your class winner. That one is good looking. That one is big bone, big legged, neat in terms of her structure and build. I really like the quality of that one. Young lady's heifer here that is in the back is going to be coming out in second. I like that one in terms of having some extra bone and some extra foot size and placement that she's got. A female that bounces up really nicely. Not quite as neat to look at as that one up on top. Young lady here in the middle is going to come out in 3. As I said there, just really smooth, really neat in terms of her build and design. One that just, I wish there was a little more power to her here in this respective lineup.
Results from Class 42. First place went to Levi Womack, second to Caitlin Keith, and third to Emily Tabor. Now coming in the ring, we have our Hereford Division Drive. From Class 37, we have Harper Ray. From Class 38, Luke Keith. From Class 39, Levi Womack. Class 40, Quentin Ray. Class 41, Hallie Hughes. And Class 42, Levi Womack.
As we get all of our actual class winners back out here, was glad that we didn't have half the show not want to participate in the grand drive. So a little miscommunication, but no big deal. Let's start off here by giving these Hereford exhibitors a big round of applause. They've brought an incredibly deep set of cattle here to the Kentucky Beef Expo today. I'm not going to go back through whenever we get this many of them out here. It gets a little tedious to go back through and talk every one of them. I guess I'll kind of give you a little bit of where my headspace is at, just so that everybody kind of knows what I'm thinking, what's going through my mind. The female that comes out of class number 2, boy, that's a unique creature, just in terms of having that bone and foot. Female that's big-legged, neat looking. Does it go all together here today? I mean, that's the question you got to ask. But as far as some extreme pieces, boy, that one incredibly high quality. Female that's circling here right now, boy, that one absolutely gorgeous as we study her from a profile standpoint. That one is neat looking, attractive, feminine, well balanced, really well put together. Young man does a nice job getting her stopped and parked. Just so elegant in terms of her look, in terms of her maternal sweep to that one, center rib, really feminine, really good headed type of an individual. Then we get our female there out of that last class. Man, I like this one a great deal there as well. Female that's got some extra punch and some extra power, big-legged, big-footed. I think kind of follows the same type and kind a little bit of that heifer that came out of that second class, just in terms of having a little more extreme pieces and some cool pieces whenever you talk about building a program. Because it's like, as we always talk about, from anybody's standpoint, it's one man's opinion on one day, and that's really all you get out of it. But if you're breeding cattle that you like, and I think they'll tell you what, there's a lot of heifers out here that have some very good pieces to them as we get back and study these animals. Those are the ones, in my opinion, are in contention for that Grand and Reserve spot here today. Congratulations to our exhibitors. I'll grab you a Grand and Reserve here in this Hereford division. But if you would, again, let's give them another nice big round of applause for bringing out an exceptional set of females.
Congratulations to your champion Hereford female, going to Quentin Ray out of class 40. Coming in for reserve is Marley Granis.
I guess as we bring that second place in, you try not to tip your hand on where you're going to go, but this one immediately enters contention as we get those cattle back out here, and it comes down to those 3 out of those 2 classes that we talked earlier, and then this one that just entered here that was second to our champion. That one, as I said, a little more moderate in terms of her kind, and that one is punchy. That one has some cool pieces, a little more throat than a couple of these others. I guess that doesn't bother me any. I think that one, again, reads incredibly high quality. I'll grab one more look at them and pick you a reserve, but again, my congratulations to all of our Hereford exhibitors. They had a very good show today.
Congratulations to your reserve Hereford female out of class 42, and that belonged to Levi Womack. Congratulations. Coming in the ring, we have class 43. This is the first class of our Limousin breed.
we get this first class in, another one of those that we're going to leave as they come in. I think actually both females, really nice when the first word out of my mouth doesn't have to be, man, we had to give up some structure, build and design. I think both these heifers really good looking, really good in terms of their structure, in terms of their athleticism. They go around the ring. It's one that's up here on the top end, just a little more extreme, a little more to that one all the way through. Very, very high quality pair of females there to start off our Lemmy show.
Results from Class 43. First place went to Jackson Kidd. Second to Eli Thompson. Now coming in the ring, we have Class 44. We have 5 entries, and at the conclusion of Class 44, we will be selecting our division champions and our limousines.
Really nice class of Limousin females, and I think it's safe to say that as we get these back out here, this is the deepest class that we've had throughout the day. This is a really high quality set of females from end to end. I think we lead it off in a very good way. Female that starts off a little more moderate type, but man, that one is an absolute burly, stout, big-footed, big bone, neat looking purebred Limousin female that's still good-headed and attractive and well balanced. A female that just handles herself and maintains herself so nicely and elegantly as we study this one around the ring. Little more length and a little more extension here in this one that comes out in two. Really a long fronted, high tying, neat structured one whenever we study her there. And my nitpick of her and what gets her beat here in this respective class, just ever so slightly wants to get a little weaker in that loin, a little higher in that tailhead. You fix that, man, past that one is an absolute unit as we study her. Female here that comes out in three, another good one. Like I said, from end to end, this is a dang good class because we've had a lot of classes. This one sure could have won her respective class and been in contention, so it's a shame that he goes third and his day is done, because that's another one that's good looking, well balanced, a lot like our type and kind of our class winner, a little more moderate in terms of her kind, just a little more upright in her shoulder. Almost throw out that front 1/3 whenever we set that one in motion. Good bodied, attractive, well balanced one here that comes out next. Maybe just not some of those extreme pieces from a look and style standpoint. Heifer that rounds off this class, big bodied, good looking type of a heifer, just not as flexible whenever we set her in motion.
Results from class 44. First place went to Samantha Pecco, second to Amanda Purvis, third to Craig Pecco, fourth to Jackson Kidd, and fifth to Keely Anderson.
Not a ton of numbers as we come off those Herefords and into the Limmies, but man, the quality is sure very high quality all the way through. The heifer calf that came out of that first class, really good one. A female that you love her body, her natural flexibility, and a female that maybe just a nickel higher in her tailhead, but again, female that is attractive. She's well balanced, good in terms of her rib. Female that's good at the ground. Females out of class number 2, as I said there in class, man, that was a really high quality class, and while they weren't all the same, I think they all had a lot of really good pieces to them. This one got to the top just a little more correct in the way that one maintains her top line. She's moderate, yes, but she's big bodied, she's burly, she's got a big old foot and a lot of quality to her. That one is one of those that hits me pretty hard here in this respective lineup. She's going to be your champion. Congratulations to her. As we bring that respective second right on in, boy, I said there in class, that was as good a class as any as we've seen throughout the day. And that one, this female that comes to really long and extended, female that just balances up so nicely as you study her there through her front 1/3, bottom third of her skeleton, incredibly symmetrical, good whenever we study her at the ground. Got beat just was because nickel higher there in terms of her tailhead, but here in this respective lineup, that class was too good to break those heifers up. She'll be your reserve. Congratulations.
Results from your Limousin breed. Champion went to Samantha Pecco, and reserve went to Samantha Purvis. Now coming in the ring, we have our Charolais heifer. This is your division for the Charolais.
Just a single entry here in our Charolais division, and so always nice is the person sorting the show. It's the one breed of the day that nobody will be mad no matter what, because this is no decision, but even if we had a decision, I think this one certainly would have taken a really good one to beat her because she brought a good one to town. That's a good looking, well balanced, going to fit in that champion lineup. Very nice, high quality Charolais female. Congratulations to her. Let's give her a round of applause on her champion female.
Congratulations to Taylor Moore with your champion Charolais female. Coming in the ring now, we have Cooper McCall. This is our division for the AOBs.
Back-to-back easy decisions, and I'll tell you what, it's tough to beat. And I may be more partial to little girls considering I've got one of those, but you get a little guy coming in the ring with a big old smile on his face. I'll tell you what, I'm a sucker. It had taken a pretty dang nice one to beat him because that little guy is happy to be out here and doing a really good job with his single entry. Congrats! This is what it's all truly about. It's not about the banners, but I'll tell you what, this little guy gets a banner and an experience. That's a win-win in my book. Congratulations to him. Let's give him a big round of applause for doing a great job out here.
Congratulations to your champion AOB going to Cooper McCall. Now coming in the ring, we have our AOB percentage. This is your division.
Another single entry, and again, I think one that could have stood a lot of competition out here with a low semi female that's got a lot of look and a lot of power, and I think is another one of those that while we've had just single entries here the last few breeds, we certainly didn't dip off in quality. Let's give her a nice round of applause for a breed champion female here at the Expo.
Congratulations to your champion percent AOB going to Hadley Webb. Now entering the ring, we have our first class of commercial heifers.
We start off here in this commercial division again. I think we got a pair here up on top that stopped in park. There's a lot of good things about them. They're both heifers that are really good looking, really eye catching females that have got some body, have got some upper hip. And again, just like we've had throughout the day, what sorts it is the bottom side of their skeleton. Young man's heifer, which is a little more moderate, is a female that just can pick them up, put them right back down in that same hole. Balances up incredibly nicely. Just a really fault free type of a heifer. Female here that comes out in two. Man, I love this one stopped in park. That one's got some cool pieces. Neat headed with a female that's bold and opened up all the way through. Female that, and to me, just needs to stay a little truer and squarer as we study this one on the go. But if we do that, then man, I think we've got a great place to start. Really high quality pair of females there in this class. Little clubbier deal here that comes out in three. Burly and stout and dimensional, just not quite as fluid. Female that rounds off this class. A little more maternal. A female that's got a little more smoothness, but female that at the same time just needs to be a little more athletic as we ask her to lead.
Results from Class 48. First place went to Kale Redmond, second to Cheyenne Kaiser, third to Sierra Miller, and fourth to Oliver Gripshover. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring, we have Class 49. At the conclusion of Class 49, we will be selecting our champion and reserve commercial female. Then we will move into our Supreme Drive.
Really a great way here to end our day in this commercial show, and we got some give and take here in this respective class. There's some definite differences here in this initial trio, and to me, we've got a pair of heifers here up on the top end, a little neater to look at, a little more feminine, a little more presentation, a little more body here at this stage of the game. And the difference in this pair is just in terms of structure, in terms of build. The heifer that's going to go ahead and lead off, more comfortable there off of both ends. Female that comes out in two, man, that one is an absolute scorpion, standing stopped and parked, and I just wish she could keep all those things true and square all the way to the ground because I absolutely love that one. There's a tremendous amount of quality, but here today, just not quite doing it. Female that comes out in three, again, I like a lot of things about top side of that one, skeleton, so good. Obviously, she's got a little extra leather. I don't care about that. Again, I think a female that's just a little harsher in terms of the way that one's built through her heart and forerib, flattens and tapers as we get onto the bottom side of that one, skeleton. But a big-footed, good structured one. I think a female that stays very high quality. Female here that comes out next, another one that really grabs your attention as you get off to the side of this one, a little more moderate in her kind. A female that's got some extra punch and some extra power, but again, one of those that I'd just like to see her a little more relaxed. Pair of females that round off this class, females that have got some good pieces to them, females that are going to make nice projects for these young people, just not the build of those up on top.
Results from Class 49. First place went to Kat Branscombe, second to Clarabelle Bishop, third to Ann Lawrence Allen, fourth to Samantha Pico, fifth to Jackson Kidd, and sixth to Sadie Jo Brown. Now we are selecting our division in the commercials.
Good set of commercials here in this division. Females that have got a lot of look, females that have got a lot of presence, highly presented females that, again, whenever you get off to the side of them, offer you a very pleasing look. Because when we started off that way with that first class winner, just really neat-headed, really neat in terms of her shoulder blade, a female that balances up incredibly nicely. Females out of class number 2, as I said there in class, man, absolutely striking. The one that comes out of the top end just a little better as we study these at the ground. That class number 2, I thought was just a very difficult decision for me to go back and forth, so I'm not going to split them up. We're going to keep those two heifers together, and they're going to be your champion in reserve.
Congratulations to your champion commercial female going to Kat Branscombe, and your reserve went to Kale Redmond. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We are now ready to start our Supreme Female Drive in our Kentucky Heifer Junior Show. From our Angus division, we have Josie Phillips. Your champion key went to Laura Ann Pettit. Your champion maintainer went to Grant Taylor. Your champion Red Angus female went to Michaela Massey. Your champion Shorthorn went to Lane McCall. Your champion Shorthorn Plus went to Case Redmond. Your champion Semi went to Josie Phillips. Your champion Percent Semi went to Wyatt Phillips. Your champion Hereford went to Quentin Ray. Your champion Limousin went to Samantha Pico. Your champion Charolais to Taylor Moore. Champion AOB went to Cooper McCall. Champion Percent AOB went to Hadley Webb, and your champion commercial female went to Kat Branscombe.
Folks, once again, thanks for everybody for coming this evening. There's some people that you just have to thank when you put on a show of this size in this facility. First and foremost, let's thank the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, Kentucky Farm Bureau for the amount of time and effort that they put in. So please give them a big round of applause. The event doesn't happen without them. Then there's a lot of sponsors. You've heard them announced tonight. They're around the ring with some banners. It takes a lot of money, just like anything, to put this on, for the banners, for the facility, for the tar paper. Folks, we're so blessed in this state. For most of you that might not know, this facility will be coming down and a new one is being built. The new facility is 6 football fields big. $342 million is being invested by our government in the state of Kentucky to build us the world's greatest facility to show livestock in. And that is the number one purpose of that facility, is livestock. So give our leaders a big round of applause for that, because that just doesn't happen every day. With that being said, we've got some great interns this year. We got Catherine Noe, we got Riley Egbert. It's the first time we ever did interns. They've done a great job. 2 great young ladies that have helped around the ring. We've got UK's Block and Bridle, Eastern Kentucky University's Block and Bridle. So please give those kids a big round of applause, because that's what this is all about. Now, with that being said, the guy standing in the ring, somebody I've known for quite a while. Just want to give you a little background on him and a little bit of props. I think they've had a great operation for his entire life with his parents, and the marriages that have took place with his sisters, marrying into more livestock families. But the bottom line is, the guy's been raised in the cattle business. I've always said, when we get judges for the Kentucky Beef Expo, we kind of look at it a little different. I want people that have not only been on the production side of it, cow-calves, calving them, but I want guys that have had to fit them. I want guys that have had to feed them. I want guys that had to be in the show ring and show them. I want people that had to live it. Because if you've lived it like everybody around this ring, then you understand that, hey, we don't do politics. We just go pick the best ones, because it's too hard to get them to this level, and it takes too much time, too much money. And folks, that's Justin Adcock standing over there. And with all integrity that I can give the guy in a speech, I think he's done a wonderful job tonight. We've got a set of cattle out here. I've been doing this since 1998 and putting this show on. And folks, this is strong. I told him earlier, I said, you know, Kentucky catches a lot of crap when we travel the country that, hey, we just don't have the stock that these other states have. Well, I hope some of you are from Ohio and Illinois and Indiana and listening right now, because you need to see this set of stock. And I'll let Justin explain them to you, because they're coming at you at the big shows this summer at those Junior Nationals. Justin, thank you for being here. Folks, give him a big round of applause.
Oh, Brent only lied about one thing. I have not walked in a show ring without a microphone, and I think there was photographic evidence whenever Emily and I did showmanship at the Indiana State Fair. The last time I showed a calf is 2000, and I believe it was 2009. And there's a reason for that, and it's because I'm not good at it. And so it's one of those things that I was blessed with sisters and a wife and a mother that are incredibly good at it. And I'll tell you what, all that is due to that we've lived in this junior program. I take this with a tremendous amount of pride and as a big burden, if you will, whenever you get the opportunity to sort these shows. We've been truly blessed in our family to have an absolutely magical run, not only with the show cattle here in the last year, but have had the opportunity to get to judge some incredible events. And I guess I said whenever. Over the last 4 weeks, I've gotten the opportunity to judge the National Western Stock Show, the Fort Worth Stock Show, and the Florida State Fair. Now, I will say it's pretty hard to beat Florida's weather, but the most I say that because the thing that was the most important to me is. And it was by no means the biggest show that I've ever got to judge from a volume standpoint was the National Western Stock Show. And that's for one reason, because we are a family. We do this as a family every day, just like many of you out here. And I got the opportunity to do that with my father. It was the only show, the only one of the majors that he had never done. And I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't pretty sweet that he had to be my associate to do it, because whenever we had the opportunity to do Louisville together, we had some disagreements, not many, like any family would. And he told me at the end of the day, whenever we'd have a disagreement, that Jeff and I could each have a vote, but he got 3 because this was his show and his name was on the top of the contract. And so I made sure that I reminded him of that. But I say that just because this is what we eat and breathe. And while it is not necessarily my full-time income, we don't have enough cows for this to be my full-time income. It is something that we spend a tremendous amount of time doing, and it's something that I love. It's an organization. Growing up in the Simmental breed, it's an organization that is not only built me and shaped me and allowed me to go to college for free for about 6.5 years through JUCO. I would have never been on a judging team if it wasn't for Kurt Ranker making me come visit Lakeland College. I would have never done it. We never had it in our ag program from a competitive standpoint, and I felt bad that I wasn't even going to come visit, so we did, and he said, oh, by the way, you're here because you've got the opportunity to have a scholarship, and I want you to do it. I'd never given a set of reasons, and I guess I approach reasons differently than some in that you get my opinion. You get, we don't have to fill it full of flowery, colorful terms. You get what I see in these cattle. And like I said, that's what we've tried to do throughout the day is we do this. We just did this last weekend. We had 22 head at the Illinois Beef Expo. It takes an absolute army, and I appreciate that from the backside because you guys, I like to keep a snappy pace and keep things rolling, and you guys have done a great job getting these cattle in and highly presented, and it makes my life a lot of fun. I guess I'll just wrap up with a few things. Like I said earlier today, I'm sorry that I'm walking a little slower. Had a fall heifer that did not appreciate getting her head shaved this morning, and my knee took the brunt of it. And I told Toll whenever I got here, I said, boy, about 7 hours ago, I was ready to call you and say, there's no way that I can walk around the ring because my knee's already swelling up and it doesn't feel good. But whenever your heart gets pumping and you grab that mic for the first time, and I'm not gonna lie and say that it feels good out here, but it it just gives you that different gear that we can come back out here and do. And it's, like I said, it's something that I truly believe in. It's something that we do as a family, and is something that means a tremendous amount to me. The last thing that I'll say, that I say at the end of every junior show, and Brent has already said it once, but it needs repeated. It takes so much money to come to these events, and you people in Kentucky are incredibly blessed to have one of the preeminent facilities in the world, and you're tearing this one down to build a better one. I'll tell you what, you come to my state and you live what we live for the last 4 days at our Illinois Beef Expo, and we would give our left arm to have a facility like this, let alone the fact that your industry, your Department of Ag is dumping more money into a facility to keep it world class. And that is something that I guess I hope we never take lightly. And I hope that you young people say thank you to those sponsors, say thank you to those Department of Ag employees, because just like I always say, whenever somebody comes and asks my crotchety old farmer father for money, it's a lot easier when the year before somebody had said thank you. He will open that dusty checkbook, and because it's a program he believes in. I could go out here and we could do so many different things. And I had joked with Brent, you know what, that earlier today, and I heard it whenever we were sitting at home watching Kansas City, and Shea Gefford had said it, and said that if everybody that thinks it's easy, and I promise you I think it's easy whenever I'm standing on the rail, because you're only locked in on one, you need to come stand in the center sometime, and you get a little different perspective. And my favorite thing about this Beef Expo so far is there's no doubt we've got a tremendous amount of friends in this state. We've got a lot of friends that have meant a tremendous amount to me, and I think something that goes unnoticed a lot of times is my phone did not ring one time before this cow show. And I know that not everybody wants to talk about that, but that is not always the case. And I think that's something that I know we all like to win, and if you trust me, the only thing I think is fun about losing is nothing, because it's more fun to win because it takes so much effort and so much energy. But you got my opinion today. That's what you got. I'm going to sleep like a baby whenever I either get home or get to the hotel tonight, and you'll get the 5 heifers that, in my opinion, today are the best ones. So with that, I'll go grab you a top 5. But again, just like to say thank you to the Kentucky Beef Expo and to the Kentucky Department of Ag for having me. It's been truly a pleasure. Hopefully, I got the opportunity to do this 5 years ago, and the world shut down right after we left. So we're going to hope that we don't do that all over again, because that wasn't super enjoyable. If it is, I'll definitely never come back to Kentucky and judge a cow show again if we shut the world down again. But again, my hat's off to all the exhibitors. If you could, one more time, you guys have been really good. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause on an exceptional set of cattle.
Congratulations to your Supreme female, your Angus, belonging to Josie Phillips. Coming in for a chance at reserve, your reserve Angus is Kennedy Evans. Your reserve champion female went to your key, belonging to Laura Ann Pettit. Coming in, your reserve key, Emma Hood. Your third overall goes to your percent Simmental heifer belonging to Wyatt Phillips. Coming in, champion percent Simmental belonged to Haley Pauley. Your fourth overall goes to your Hereford belonging to Quentin Ray. Your reserve Hereford female belongs to Levi Womack. Your fifth overall female goes to your percent Simmental belonging to Haley Pauley. Congratulations to all of our exhibitors. The open heifer show will be here in this ring tomorrow, and your steer shows will be over in the pavilion. We'll see you tomorrow.